As we think about global payroll, let's first off understand the complexities of it. Effectively, for every country clients are in or a multinational is in, it has its own set of rules, regulation, different taxation policies, different employment banding, so union agreements, that affect different pay groups, has some, their own currencies, own way of moving money. So if you extrapolate that across 30, 50, 60 countries, for any organization to have all of that knowledge of saying, how do we manage or make more efficient our payroll, is a huge challenge. The industry, the market is looking at it saying, that's a big one. It's very complex. It's a huge complex area. When you look at saying, okay, what are the outputs of that? Well, the outputs are different file formats, payroll reports all coming through in local language, local currency, different machine readable files. So not only is the complexity around legislation, taxation, but organizations also find complexity around what do we do with the data? How do we make any sense of this? How do we make it strategic? And so payroll's always remained at a key transactional part of any business, because paying people correctly is always the main thing. Now, how do you take some of the complexity out of that? Actually what you look at is you say, how do I improve my business process? How do I make payroll more accurate? And how do I make it more strategic? And a lot of that is two things. Firmly believe having singular processes, similar processes across, visibility of those processes and visibility of the time frame of payroll. So you can look as a global payroll manager and go, I know my payrolls are on time, I can see they're accurate, I can see they balance, so I have more visibility than I do today. And then I think the second stream to that is then going, okay, not only do I have more visibility, but I have more availability to the data. I'm now able to start to look at the data across all of my regions. We're able to answer employee queries more accurately, faster for them, but also we're then able to give our C-suite executives information that they're asking us, because payroll departments get asked for information all the time from C-suite saying, hey, I just need you to run this report. How can you get this information? So as you start to pool that data under one application, you start to get more use for that data of just saying, how do I use it? And I think that's the the biggest win point for a lot of our clients is looking at saying, okay, visibility into process, more control around that process, but then equally, that data element at the side of it is, how do we start to make use of the data? And then, having a single point of contact to understand the rules and regulations. What are the changes happening in this country this year? What are the changes? And importantly, what effect does that have on my employees? Because that's the decision tree to push down.